Hello, happy Friday. Happy last day of January. Although by the time you're seeing this, it will already be February. I guarantee that I will not be filming, editing, and posting this today because there's just no way that's gonna happen. Also, literally just started filming and my camera battery's flashing, so be right back. I'm gonna do a little day in my life vlog today because I've been trying to vlog all week long. Like every single day I've sat down to start a vlog, and I'm realizing that like a week just isn't gonna work right now because I have to ease myself back into it. It has been a year since I've posted videos. It's been so long since I tried to film a vlog that I really just need to lower my expectations. So we're gonna do a little day in the life, the final day of January. The reason also that I'm gonna film this today is because my baby is 11 weeks old and we have never gone out of the house, just the two of us, to go do something other than like to the pediatrician, which is literally around the corner from our house. And today I have to run a couple of errands. I've been putting him off all week long, but I have to do them today. We are out of dog food and my dogs will be very unhappy if they don't get to eat tonight. Also, you know, the world is in like a complete state of tragedy. Well, the world, I mean, this country is in a complete state of tragedy. And everything feels harrowing every second of every day. There's just, you know, breaking news after breaking news of just disaster. It's hard. I know that I'm not alone in that feeling, but sometimes it feels a little bit like disparaging. So my best friends are coming over tonight. We're gonna make a big pot of chicken noodle soup for dinner and we're gonna play games because we haven't had a just good old-fashioned game night in so long. We just need to take our minds off of the world and give us something to do other than doom scroll. So we're going to Sam's to get dog food and a few other things to make chicken noodle soup. And we do need to go to Walmart because you can't get egg noodles at Sam's, and egg noodles are the key component of chicken noodle soup in my opinion. Also, the bookstore is over by Sam's and I might just pop in there for a few minutes because I got some gift cards for Christmas, and there is one book in particular that I did check out from the library and I started reading it, and immediately I was like, I need to have a physical copy of this book for myself so that I can write in it. It's a nonfiction book that I feel like is going to be an important read for me and I want to have my own copy of it. So we might pop over there and see if they have that in stock. It says they do online, but you never know. Oh, also reading. I guess I need to tell you what I'm gonna be reading today. I haven't done real well in January. My goal obviously for the year was to read 60 books. And that's basically one a week plus some extras. And so far this month I have finished 3. 2 of those were at the very beginning of the month and one of them was yesterday. And the one yesterday was a novella that took me 3 days to read. So, yeah, reading is complicated. I have started so many things and it's like an attention span thing, I think. Before this year, like audiobooks took up 90% of my reading, I would say, or at least like 75%, if not more. And I cannot listen to audiobooks anymore. Like they're just not holding my attention. Every time I start an audiobook, I will listen to maybe like 25-30% of it and I'm like, I'm done. I'm so out of this. But I am currently listening to an audiobook that I got as an ALC from Libro FM. The book has since come out. It came out this month. It's The Favorites by Layne Fargo. Everybody and their mom is talking about this book right now, so I'm sure you've heard of it. It is a sort of like literary contemporary in the style of Taylor Jenkins Reid about these 2 figure skaters or ice dancers. They were partners and they had this like kind of like deep connecting romance, and then something happened, sort of told in this like documentary style. It's like 10 years after the event has happened, somebody is making a documentary about the event, and we're getting to like hear interviews from people that were closely connected to the situation. But the main character, the female of the 2 of the partners, is in first person telling us her account of the story. She's not part of the documentary as far as I can tell so far. I think I'm about 30% of the way into that, and it's really interesting. Like I'm compelled by the characters, but I am not loving the pacing and I kind of wish it would just get to the point a little bit. Like I'm ready to figure out what happened. Obviously, they're really trying to set up the backstory, establish these characters, establish all these relationships, and I respect that. But I do think that Layne Fargo is trying a little bit too hard to be like Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's definitely feeling kind of like a really good mix of Carrie Soto Is Back and Daisy Jones and the Six. And those books in my mind are like peak, like this like pseudo celebrity fiction sort of thing. And this book is just not doing it as well because I think the main factor of my enjoyment of those two books is the pacing. And the pacing of this one feels so off. I'm enjoying it so far. I just need my attention span to grow a little bit so that I can actually focus on the audiobook. I haven't listened to it in, I think, 2 days at this point because I just keep forgetting that it exists. I'm gonna be out and about, so I'm gonna have that on in my car while I am running errands today. I'm gonna go feed the baby and get ready to leave, and then I'll take you along as we venture out for our first mommy-daughter solo adventure. Okay, I'm gonna film the rest of this on my phone because it's just easier. We are leaving. I changed clothes 3 times because I couldn't decide what I wanted to wear. Also, I think I'm gonna go get myself some lunch because I'm hungry. Baby girl had her food, but I haven't had mine yet. So we're playing with fire a little bit because she will likely want to eat again at some point. And also, I am anticipating her falling asleep while we're out because usually her wake windows are about an hour. I've already taken up like 35 minutes of that getting ready. So I don't know how long this is gonna, I hope that we can make it through this whole thing. I don't know what I want for lunch. So I'm gonna go this way. I have this thing for my phone, but it's not sticking very well, so I don't know that this is gonna last. Oh, I forgot my, crap, okay. Well, we're still gonna listen to the audiobook, but it may be a little bit harder because I didn't bring my headphones to listen while I'm in the store. So we'll just listen in the car, probably. We made it to Sam's, and the baby's asleep. She's probably gonna wake up. She's gonna wanna eat at some point, and I didn't bring a bottle with me. Also, I only brought my wrap carrier because I have to get dog food and I can't push the stroller, and I can't put dog food in the stroller. This might be a disaster. Might be a disaster. Our first time out and about, and no, I'm very prepared for it. But we're gonna go in, we're gonna try to get as much done, get as much stuff, and hopefully she will either stay asleep or she'll just be a happy little baby while we're in there. We did it. We survived. Still wearing my wrap because we're gonna make a couple more stops. She did so good. She did drool on me, but par for the course. I'm gonna get gas because we're at Sam's and gas is always the cheapest at Sam's. And then we're gonna run over to the bookstore because it's right here and she's still in good mood, so I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna take my chances. I just snotted everywhere. That's disgusting. A lady started talking to me in right at the end when I was getting ready to be done. She started talking to me about the baby and asking me some questions, and she was really nice. It wasn't like creepy or anything. She was just oh, she's so cute, and asking some questions about her and stuff, and distracted me, and I forgot to get something that I had not written on my list, but I knew that I needed. I was right in the aisle, like next to it. And when she was done talking to me, I just checked out on the app and I forgot completely to go onto the next aisle and get the thing that I needed. It's like the one thing Cole asked me to grab while I was at Sam's, and I completely forgot, but it's not a big deal. We can get some at Walmart. But yeah, she did amazing. She did wake up like right at the beginning, but she just sat in her carrier, and she kind of like peeked her head out every now and then and looked around, and I kind of like swayed her back and forth to the music and stuff. She likes to be moving, so she very rarely gets fussy as long as we're like on the go. But yeah, she did amazing, and I just love it when people tell me that I have a beautiful baby, because although we don't show her face online at all, not even on our like personal Facebooks where we just have like friends and family, we don't put her face out there at all. It's such a bummer for other people because she is literally the most beautiful baby. Like, if you've never met her and you don't get to see pictures of her online, I just hate that for you, because she's such a beautiful baby, and I just love it when people come up to me in public and tell me how beautiful my baby is, because she's a beautiful baby. It's not subjective, it is literally objectively, she is the most beautiful baby in the world. So yeah, thank you to that lady that talked to me very nicely in Sam's. I just wish I hadn't forgot to get Tums, because that was the one thing my husband asked for. We're just, you know, cruising right along, our first adventure, just us. And hopefully we can keep these good vibes going, don't you think? It is way warmer than a sweatshirt and beanie call for, but my hair is not washed, so I will not be taking the hat off. And I don't have anything on under my sweatshirt except for my bra, so won't be taking that off either. I'm gonna keep listening to my audiobook while I'm sitting here waiting to get gas. The line is very long. I feel like the audiobook's getting juicier. I'll probably talk more about it when I get home because I have a lot of thoughts, and it's such a popular book right now that I feel like reading it right now is timely, and like being able to talk about it right now is timely. We're back home. We've been home for a little bit. Got back from Sam's. We ended up not going to Walmart because she was asleep in her car seat, and I didn't feel like getting her out of the car seat again just to go into Walmart for egg noodles. So I texted Cole, and he's gonna stop and pick them up on his way home. But I thought I'd show you what we got real quick. We've been home. She's now had a bottle. She's had 2 diaper changes, and she is in her swing for a few minutes. So here's what we got from Sam's. 2 rotisserie chickens. I don't know if I'm gonna need both of them, but I am making chicken noodle soup for 6 people tonight, so I might need a little extra chicken. If we don't need both of them, we'll shred it up. We'll use it for something else later this weekend, I'm sure. Rolls. These yeast rolls from Sam's are the best rolls. We've got some Pam cooking spray because I'm out of cooking spray. Some vegetable oil because it's pretty much the only thing we're using right now. Olive oil is ridiculously expensive. Like, one thing of it is $30. And I can't justify that. Even though I would much prefer to be cooking with olive oil, I can't justify $30. Soap for Cole because he didn't know if he was out, and I forgot to check before I left, but I figured he'll use it. So I got a big thing of it. I also got some coffee creamer and butter. That's all we got at Sam's. Oh, and dog food, but that's still in the car. I'm gonna make Cole get that out when he gets home because it was hard enough to put it in the buggy with the baby strapped to me and then put it in the car from the bottom of the buggy once we got out to the car. So I didn't want to bring it inside. He can get it when he gets here. That's our Sam's haul. It's time for me to pump again, so I'm gonna go pump and probably listen to a little bit more of the audiobook for the favorites. I'm like past the halfway point now. I'm gonna talk to you about it at some point soon, but I haven't sat down to do it yet, so probably after I pump, then I'll actually sit down and talk to you about the favorites. I'm really excited to make chicken noodle soup. It's one of my favorite comfort meals, and you know, when you had just like the worst week, I haven't had a bad week, but like collectively, we've been having the worst couple of weeks, right, since the inauguration. So I'm gonna make chicken noodle soup because it's a good comfort, and we'll eat these rolls with it because that's delicious, and it's gonna be a fun night. Hello, happy Saturday. I didn't vlog anymore last night. Our friends came over, we ate chicken noodle soup, we watched some gymnastics on ESPN, we hung out for a while, and I just didn't vlog anymore. But I did finish reading the favorites, so I'm gonna give you a review of that here in just a minute. But I just got back to my house from the library, and I thought I'd do a quick little library haul for you. I went to pick up 2 holds, and I walked away with 6 books, so whoops. I also have like 3 or 4 already checked out in my house. I haven't been going to the library, like into the library physically lately. If I want something, I just put it on hold and then I go by and pick it up. My library now has these boxes outside where if you put something on hold, you can assign it to the box outside, and then you can go anytime and pick it up. It doesn't have to be during library hours, which is so convenient. But I haven't actually walked around and perused in the library in a while, and the baby was taking a nap. I don't think she's still asleep. I checked the camera on my phone, and I think she's awake now. But I thought, while she's taking a nap, I'm going to run to the library. My husband is home, I should mention. I did not leave my baby asleep in her crib. But I thought, she doesn't need me right now. I'm gonna just run to the library real quick before they close at 5 o'clock. Also, the library was so crowded because they were doing a make your own dumpling thing for Chinese New Year, which is really cool. They always have really cool events at the library. I really actually need to start going to some. And especially now that I have a baby, I'll probably like try to take her to some baby events at the library. But there were so many people there, so it was very crowded. I've never seen the library that crowded before. Yeah, anyway, so I checked out 6 things. So I'm going to share them with you real quick, and then I'll review the favorites, and then I'll end the vlog. So first off, I actually got a cookbook. I got Cook This Book by Molly Baz. I make food over on TikTok, and I'm currently, well, I've done 1 episode, but I'm currently doing a series where I'm making recipes from cookbooks that I already have in order to justify buying new cookbooks. And this is like the #1 cookbook that I want. Somebody commented on one of my videos recently and said, I like to check out cookbooks from the library. And I thought, that is such a good idea. I cannot believe I've never thought about checking out cookbooks from the library. This is a cookbook that I just see everybody using, and I just really want to try some recipes from it. So I figure I'll check it out from the library. I'll make a few things out of here. I will see if it's something that I can like see myself using more in the future before I purchase it, because cookbooks are not cheap, but there's so many that I want. And I know you can get recipes on the internet, but there's something so special about just like picking up a cookbook and like following all the steps and then like making it your own. And it's something that you want to throw into your regular rotation of meals. I don't know. I love cookbooks. So yeah, I'm gonna try a few recipes out of this over the next couple weeks and then see if I like it. And if I do like it, then I will probably purchase my own copy. Okay, now for the fiction. The two that I went for, I put on hold James by Percival Everett. This is like, it was like the book of last year. Everybody was reading it and loving it. And I think it was on like many, many people's favorites of the year. And I want to read it. I've heard really, really amazing things about this book, about Percival Everett in general. And I actually just watched a vlog this morning of someone reading this book, and it was like a 5-star read for her. So I'm like, I'm going to read it. Hopefully it'll be a 5-star read for me too. I also got All Fours by Miranda July. This is also one that I have seen a ton of people reading and loving over the last year or so. I think it came out last year. It's about an author an artist, I'm sorry, who randomly like leaves her husband and children to go on a like trip, and instead of like going on the trip, she goes and spends like a night in a motel, and then she comes back and she's like a different person. And it's just I think it's like kind of like a finding yourself sort of story. Since I saw a ton of 5-star reviews, I have also seen some less good reviews, but I'm still really excited about this. I've never read anything by this author. I think this is just her second novel, actually. The rest of these were just spontaneous pickups. I hardly ever pick up YA anymore. Like, I can't even remember the last time I read a YA novel that wasn't part of a series that I have currently ongoing. I really love Gail Forman, or I did when I read a lot of YA, and I didn't know that she had a new book out. So I grabbed it. It's called Afterlife. I read the description, and it's about a girl who comes home one day. She's out riding her bike, and she comes home, and her mom screams. And it turns out that she actually died like 7 years prior to the start of the novel. She was hit by a car while she was riding her bike, and now all of a sudden she's back. And it's about like the implications of what that means for her family, all the people that knew her when she was alive, all these different aspects. I really like the way that Gail Forman explores grief and death in her stories, and so I'm excited to read this. Like I said, haven't been reading a ton of YA, so I don't even know if I'll, I don't know if it's even something that I'll be into or finish, but I figured from the library it was worth a shot. I also picked up Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. This is, I think, a sci-fi like speculative novel that I have seen a few people really rave about on both BookTube and Book Talk. I don't really know much about it other than sci-fi. I think it's set in a world where one day randomly like all the white people disappear, and it's kind of about like what happens after that. So that should be interesting. And then lastly, this book has been loved. I got A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I read Rebecca Ross's YA duology that a lot of people love. What is it? The one with the typewriters. I can't remember the name of it. I honestly, Divine Rivals. I didn't see the hype with that series. It was YA, and I went into it not knowing that it was YA, so that was like the thing. This is adult, and it is another like kind of fantasy romance sort of series. I actually don't know anything about it, but I have seen a lot of people say that it's really good, so I'm hoping to like it. I do like Rebecca Ross's writing style. I just think that like YA doesn't work for me, so I'm hoping that reading something that's adult will work for me. Okay, so let's talk about the favorites really quick, because I have a lot of thoughts. My problem with the book is that I just don't think the pacing was very good. At some points we would be like, it would be chapters and chapters of something that's happening within the span of like 20 minutes. Like we'd read 4 chapters in a row of something that's happening in the span of 20 minutes. And then some chapters would like be jumping ahead like months and years into the future without like a lot of context for what was going on. I almost DNF'd it, honestly, but then I thought, no, because everybody's reading and loving it, so maybe something happens at the end. I personally didn't like the end because it kind of goes from this like documentary style story that we're also getting the first person perspective of the main character, the female partner of this duo, and she's not part of the documentary, but she is telling her story as well. And it's interesting to see the parallels between like what she's saying and what's happening in the documentary sections. I didn't hate the way that was structured, but then towards the end of the book, all of a sudden it becomes this like mystery mafia situation, and I didn't like that. Like it just out of nowhere, suddenly it's kind of like this like not action story, but it's just like this like mystery. There's like this mystery happening. It kind of like ruined the whole book for me, honestly. Not that I was like loving it before, but it just like all of a sudden we're in this mystery. And I will also say, I might have mentioned this before, but I tried to read They Never Learn, which is like a mystery thriller sort of story by the same author, which everybody seems to love. Like, it is like one of the most loved books. I have never seen anybody say a bad thing about it. I DNF'd it because I figured out what was going on like from the first page, and I hated what I read of it. And I think that Layne Fargo just couldn't quite let go of that like mystery component of her writing. I feel like she had to throw a mystery in just to stay true to her writing style. It just really took away from the book for me. I will say, because so many people are loving it, I think this book is going to go in one of two directions. I actually think it's going to go in both of these directions. I think it's going to be like the book of the year. Everybody's going to be talking about it, and it's going to be on so many people's favorites lists at the end of the year. I feel like so many people have already read and just raved about it, and I feel like we're going to hear about it a lot throughout the year. The other thing I think is going to happen is that because we're going to hear about it so much, it's going to kind of become oversaturated in like the bookish space, and people are going to start critiquing it, and it's going to also end up on a lot of people's worst books of the year. I don't think there's going to be like a real middle ground with this book. I think you're either going to give it 5 stars or you're going to give it 1 star. Like, I just don't think that at some point in the year, it's going to become one of those polarizing books that's a 5 or a 1. For me, it was like a solid like 3.5. I don't think I will remember it beyond probably the next couple of weeks. I don't know. It's just not something I think is going to stick with me. I found both of the characters so hard to root for. Their relationship, Kat and Heath's relationship, was so incredibly toxic, and I never one time was like wishing for them to like work things out and be together. You know, sometimes people have these like weird like back and forth relationships, and I'm like, oh, you guys just need to have a conversation and get over it. I never one time thought these two just need to have a conversation and get over it. I thought these two need to get away from each other because everything about it was toxic. And when the whole book is basically about that relationship, if you're not rooting for that in any capacity, it is so hard to like the book. I just felt like these two characters were so toxic for each other that there was just no way that I could root for them and that I wanted to continue reading about them. So I did finish the book, but I didn't love it. It's definitely not going to be on my favorites of the year list. It probably won't be on my worst books of the year list because I really don't think it's going to be memorable for me. I think after I'm done talking about it in videos and on Instagram and everything, like when I'm done reviewing it, I really think it's just going to leave my brain. And I'm okay with that. There's a lot of people out there that are reading and loving it. So if it sounds like a book that you could like, then give it a go. I think the audiobook was really well done because there were various narrators for all of the characters that are being interviewed. And some of the narrators for the audiobook are actually people that are in the figure skating world in real life. Like Johnny Weir narrates one of the characters, which I think is cool. So if that's your thing, go for it. But me personally, it wasn't a new favorite. I don't know that I quite see the hype that it already has, but I might be alone in that opinion. Okay, so this was my like little basically 24 hours day in my life vlog. It probably extended a little bit past 24 hours. Definitely did, because I think I started yesterday morning. It was fun to just get back into the vlogging thing, and hopefully I will be able to do a little bit more of that as the year goes on. So stick around if you want to. If not, that's fine. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again very soon.